Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il took control of North Korea in 1994 when his father died, inheriting a country already notorious for extreme isolation and human rights abuses. The regime he ran was built on propaganda so absurd it's almost hard to believe. According to official North Korean sources, Kim Jong-il was born on top of Mount Paektu, with a new star appearing in the sky along with a double rainbow. They claimed he made 11 holes in one during a single round of golf, invented an invisible cell phone, and could literally control the weather. Between 1994 and 2000, a massive famine struck North Korea under his leadership, killing an estimated 2 million people. By 2008, Kim Jong-il stopped appearing at major public events, and other countries suspected he might be dead. On December 17, 2011, the government finally confirmed his death from a heart attack, though they blamed it on overexertion from working too hard. The country entered a mandatory 11-day mourning period. His body was placed on permanent display, and his youngest son, Kim Jong-un, took over the dictatorship. The contrast between the mythology surrounding him and his ordinary death tells you everything about how dictatorships work. While Kim Jong-il died with his propaganda machine still intact, our next dictator faced something far more final: international justice at the end of a rope. Hideki Tojo. Hideki Tojo spent his entire life within Japan's military system. Born in 1884, he attended the Imperial Japanese Army Academy and began his military career in 1905. He climbed through the ranks with impressive speed, eventually becoming Prime Minister of Japan in October 1941. Just 2 months after his appointment, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, dragging the United States into World War II. The atrocities attributed to his leadership include the massacre and starvation of thousands of prisoners of war, mass murders of millions of civilians, and brutal campaigns throughout Asia. As a military-appointed prime minister, Tojo essentially functioned as a dictator, controlling Japan with an iron fist during the war. By July 18, 1944, it became clear Japan was losing badly, and Tojo resigned. When Japan surrendered to the Allied powers in August 1945, Tojo was arrested in September. He faced trial at an international military tribunal where prosecutors laid out extensive evidence of crimes against humanity and war crimes. The verdict was clear: guilty. On December 23, 1948, Hideki Tojo was executed by hanging, representing formal international justice being served against a military dictator. Tojo at least faced a proper trial before his execution. But what happens when someone responsible for millions of deaths never faces real justice at all? Pol Pot. During the 1960s, Pol Pot organized the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia's jungles, advocating for a radical communist revolution. In 1970, his forces began an insurgency against the Cambodian government, and by April 1975, they captured Cambodia's capital and established the Kampuchean People's Republic. What happened next was absolute hell on earth. Pol Pot evacuated the cities, closed schools and factories, and abolished private property and currency. Anyone considered intellectual was immediately executed. If you spoke a foreign language, you died. If you were skilled at your job, you died. Even owning glasses, a watch, or a small radio meant execution. Between 1975 and 1978, over 2 million Cambodians died through execution, forced labor, or starvation. In 1979, Vietnamese troops invaded to overthrow the Khmer Rouge, and Pol Pot retreated to the jungle. In 1997, he finally faced trial but wasn't sentenced to death. He got life imprisonment and served it under house arrest in his own home. During a 1998 interview, he declared, "My conscience is clear." Later that year, he died peacefully in his sleep, representing one of history's greatest failures of justice. At least Pol Pot died quietly. Our next dictator's end was far more dramatic and immediate. Benito Mussolini. Benito Mussolini started his career as a socialist politician and journalist, but got kicked out of the Italian Socialist Party for supporting military intervention in World War I. Having been rejected by political establishments, he decided to create his own movement, Italian fascism. In 1922, following the March on Rome, King Victor Emmanuel III appointed him prime minister. Within 5 years, Mussolini transformed Italy into a one-party dictatorship through both legal manipulation and violent intimidation. Between 1922 and 1937, Italy engaged in multiple wars and conflicts under Mussolini's aggressive policies. In 1937, he joined the Axis powers alongside Germany and Japan. When Allied forces invaded Sicily in July 1943, King Victor Emmanuel III removed Mussolini from power and placed him in custody. Germany rescued him and installed him as ruler of a puppet state in German-occupied northern Italy. As the Axis powers began collapsing in 1945, Mussolini and his mistress attempted to flee to Switzerland. They stopped near Lake Como, right on the Swiss border. Mussolini tried disguising himself as a German soldier to avoid recognition. Despite the disguise, Italian partisans recognized him immediately and executed both him and his girlfriend on sight. Mussolini's death was instant. But our next dictator's downfall happened almost as quickly, going from president to executed in just days: Nicolae Ceausescu. Nicolae Ceausescu climbed the ranks of the Romanian Communist Party and became General Secretary in 1965. By 1974, he declared himself President of Romania, giving him total control. What followed was predictable: censorship of the press, totalitarian rule, secret police conducting mass surveillance, and widespread human rights abuses. Romania became one of Europe's most repressive governments. In the late 1970s, Ceausescu's terrible management led to massive national debt. In 1982, he forced Romania to export huge amounts of agricultural products to pay these debts, putting enormous pressure on citizens. By 1989, anti-government protests erupted across Romania. Ceausescu made a fatal mistake when he ordered the military to open fire on protesters. Multiple people died, and the country exploded in rage. Massive riots spread throughout Romania, sparking a full revolution. Demonstrators stormed the Capitol building, and Ceausescu and his wife fled from the building's roof by helicopter. The military forced them to land, and they were immediately arrested, tried, and convicted of economic sabotage and genocide. On Christmas Day, December 25, 1989, both Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife faced a firing squad. The Romanian Revolution showed how quickly a dictator's grip can shatter. Ceausescu died hated by his people, but our next dictator died popular, powerful, and still killed more people after death. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin grew up poor in Georgia and joined revolutionary movements, helping raise money for Vladimir Lenin's Bolsheviks by robbing banks. After the Bolsheviks seized power in 1917, Stalin worked his way up through the Communist Party, becoming General Secretary in 1922. When Lenin died in 1924, Stalin took complete control. His policies caused immediate disasters. Between 1932 and 1933, a nationwide famine killed millions of Soviet citizens. Then came the Great Purge from 1936 to 1938, where Stalin executed hundreds of thousands of people he considered political threats. An estimated 18 million people went through the Gulag system of forced labor camps during his rule. After World War II, tensions between Western capitalism and Soviet communism created the Cold War. Despite all this death and suffering, Stalin maintained enormous popularity within the Soviet Union. He had a cult of personality and was seen as the champion of socialism. On March 5, 1953, Stalin died at age 74 from a stroke at his personal residence. Hundreds of thousands attended his multi-day funeral because he remained popular when he died. The crowds were so massive that at least 109 people were confirmed killed in crowd crushes, with estimates suggesting over 1,000 total deaths. Stalin died in power and loved by many. But our next dictator would die despised, captured from an underground bunker, with his execution broadcast to the world: Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein attended a nationalistic high school in Baghdad and briefly studied law before joining the Ba'ath Party. During his rise, he participated in an assassination attempt that failed, but gave his small party widespread attention. By the early 1970s, Saddam had built a reputation as an effective politician and became vice president. During the 1973 energy crisis, oil prices skyrocketed, benefiting Iraq tremendously. But his rule came with horrific crimes. He used mustard gas and nerve gas on civilians, killing thousands. The 1982 Dujail massacre saw 148 men and boys executed. He regularly violated international law and borders. Surprisingly, the United States and United Kingdom overlooked these war crimes because Iraq was fighting Iran and Kuwait. In March 2003, the United States invaded Iraq, ending his nearly 24-year regime. When Baghdad fell, Saddam went into hiding. U.S. forces found him months later in an underground bunker. He was transferred to Iraq for trial and found guilty of crimes committed during the 1982 attack. On November 5, 2006, Saddam was sentenced to death by hanging. The execution happened during the Islamic holiday of Eid, and someone recorded it on their cell phone. The video leaked online, spreading across the internet worldwide. While Saddam refused to accept his fate until the rope tightened, our final dictator controlled his end completely, even as his empire burned around him, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was born in Austria, not Germany, though he felt strong German patriotism. Unlike most dictators who dove into politics young, Hitler spent his childhood pursuing arts. At 18, he was broken alone, rejected from art and architecture schools. Then World War I broke out in 1914. Hitler enlisted with German forces despite being Austrian and fought until an injury sent him home in 1917. After the war ended, Hitler was appointed as an intelligence agent to infiltrate the German Workers' Party. Between 1919 and 1933, he went from intelligence agent to absolute dictator of Germany, with totalitarian control. From 1933 to 1945, Hitler committed more atrocities than seem possible, with the Holocaust being the most horrific. By late April 1945, Soviet troops were surrounding Berlin. Hitler retreated to an underground bunker and tried commanding his forces, but officials were secretly negotiating surrender behind his back. When word came that Soviets had entered Berlin, Hitler realized he had no escape. Being the egomaniac he was, he refused to let anyone else capture him. He married Eva Braun in the bunker, then shot himself while she took cyanide. Helpers burned their bodies and hid the ashes, though Soviets eventually found the remains and confirmed them through dental records. So which of these dictators got what they deserved? Did justice actually prevail, or did some escape too easily? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know which story shocked you the most. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, smash that like button and subscribe for more fascinating content. Until next time, stay curious.